Hello and welcome to my expert discussion series. One lesser known aspect in gut health and IBS is the pelvic floor area, and it can have foundational effects on digestive function. It's my pleasure to have Eeva Lehtinen here today as my guest. She's a physiotherapist and pelvic floor specialist that works with clients on a daily basis with pelvic floor issues. Thank you so much for being here today with me.
Thank you for asking. It's my pleasure. It's exciting, but very nice you asked me. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great that you're here. It's a very important topic, and I don't think we are talking about it as much as we should. My first question for you is, what is the pelvic floor?
Pelvic floor is part of the core system, and as the name says, it's located at the base of the pelvis. It plays a very important role in bladder and bowel control, and it also helps maintain a good posture and has also role in a sexual function.
So it sounds like it's something that does a lot of things for us, but perhaps we're not always really thinking about that, huh?
Yeah, I think the most common thing is you only think that continence, but it's also much more.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, I think that's the context that I've also most heard about pelvic floor and pelvic floor muscles. So yeah, it's really important that we understand that it does so much more for us. So yeah, it can have effect on gut health also. So do you actually see clients with digestive problems or specifically even IBS? And what is usually their specific problem and how is the pelvic floor connected? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, I do see clients who have digestive issues a lot, but they don't usually come to see me because of that diagnosis, that IBS itself, but rather because those gut-related symptoms they have. IBS is very common condition, and we are seeing it more and more, even in children. But we don't still fully understand why it's becoming more common nowadays. Symptoms in IBS can vary a lot, and how it affects the pelvic floor, it depends on the type of the IBS. For example, when IBS comes with diarrhea, it can make the pelvic floor muscles really tight and tense. And this can happen because the person might constantly try to squeeze the pelvic floor, keeping the continence, which can make the muscles work overtime. And over time, this tension can actually make these muscles weaker because tight muscles don't function as well. Or another example, bloating, which is really common with IBS, that bloating can affect on your whole core, including the pelvic floor. Maybe it's hard to relax and you might feel really uncomfortable how you look because of that bloating. And also deep breathing can be tricky too. And that's why it's so important to look at each person's situation individually and make sure that physiotherapy matches what they actually need.
Yeah, and that's so interesting because I have known that with constipation, there could be some problems with the pelvic floor muscles in terms of kind of discoordination, which makes it hard to push the poop out. But this was new for me that if you have diarrhea, you kind of tense your muscles so much so that you wouldn't, have an accident that then you might end up with weaker muscles or tired muscles that can't do it anymore, and then the functionality decreases. So that's really interesting. And I don't think most people really understand that. And the same thing with bloating, that it also has a connection to the pelvic floor. That's so interesting. So how can someone tell that part or all of their issue might be stemming from the pelvic floor? Are there some specific symptoms or signs?
This isn't always so easy to figure out. That's why it's so important to get to know your own body and your pelvic floor too. Pelvic floor can feel like really strange or unfamiliar area, especially if you have had any unpleasant symptoms or experience related to it. I recommend that everyone gets to know their own pelvic floor, for example, using own touch. A good way is also to occasionally use a mirror and to see what am I looking, how am I looking, what the area looks like at the pelvic floor. It's important to learn that the difference between tension and relaxation in the pelvic floor muscles, and to be able to feel that difference in different positions. You should also be able to activate and relax your pelvic floor muscles while breathing freely. It's not so easy always. And squeeze the pelvic floor without needing to hold your breath all the time. And when you touch the pelvic floor, it shouldn't be painful.
Okay. All right. So big recommendations here. Let's get to know our pelvic floor muscles and actually even maybe take a mirror out and check things out. And the same thing, use your hands to feel, what does it feel like? Is there tension in there? Can I relax those muscles, right? How does it feel if I try to breathe just freely? Is this the same for both women or men, or is this really more of a female problem, would you say?
No, it's the same for male and female.
Okay. Yeah, so even men should get in touch with their pelvic floor muscles. And can they feel it? Women are different, right? But for men, can they kind of feel it just by placing their hand in a specific place? Or, it's just harder for me to picture that for men. Perhaps there's men who watch this episode.
Yeah, they put their fingers on the pelvic floor muscles. They should feel the movement.
All right. Okay, so also men, this is for you too. It's not just for women. Great advice. Thank you. And what can you do at home to strengthen or perhaps improve the functioning of the pelvic floor muscles? Do you have any advice regarding that?
Actually, what I just mentioned earlier, the most important thing is to get to know your own body. Sometimes when we are talking about pelvic floor, you need a bit of courage to really connect with your pelvic floor. It's an intimate area, and depending on what you have been through, it can bring up all kinds of emotions. Mm-hmm. Things can also change over time, so it's important to stay present and listen to your body in the moment. Mm-hmm. I often talk to clients about approaching the pelvic floor with curiosity, without pressure or expectations, a bit like a small child who explores the world with open curiosity. And if you notice you can't really squeeze your pelvic floor muscles or hold the squeeze, maybe it's time to strengthen your muscles that you can really hold the squeeze. And exercises should be done in different starting positions and regularly. And most important thing is the quality of the exercises, not the quantity. The pelvic floor muscles, they are really small muscle group, and because they are small, they don't create a big movement. So you need to keep like realistic and your expectations realistic when training them. You are not assuming big movements when you squeeze the muscle. Mm.
Is there something you can kind of give us, like how do you squeeze the pelvic muscles? What does it feel like to squeeze them, or how would you tell someone to squeeze their muscles?
I think you need to figure it out yourself. like the easiest way to yourself to feel the squeeze and feel the relaxation. And when you use those, your touch or mirror, you can they can help you to feel it and see it, or
Right.
Those are like things you might need to use to have the
Like to really connect with those muscles, right?
yeah, and feel it in your side, because those muscles are inside your body. Then it's like a biofeedback when you touch or see the movement.
Right. Yeah, I've heard about that actually. But yeah, I mean, I hear you. It's it's an area of your body that is a little bit unknown for you, so you might have to use these helpers to really connect with the muscles, to really understand what does it mean to you to squeeze the muscles, tense the muscles, and relax them. Yeah, I totally understand that. When should you see a specialist for these issues? Are there, again, some signs or symptoms that would tell you that, or red flags that now you should actually get to the clinic of a physiotherapist who specializes in pelvic floor?
In my opinion, if you feel unsure about your pelvic floor, it's a good idea to meet a professional, because often it's the uncertainty what is the biggest issue. And when that's cleared up, many things can start to improve. And it's always easier to prevent things in many cases. So maybe just few sessions can already make a big difference. So every time if you are unsure,
Okay.
and if you notice that you are thinking about your pelvic floor a lot in your daily life, or if you are unsure about how well it's working, or maybe it's limiting what you can do, then it's definitely time to seek help and advice.
Yeah, great. That's really nice that you brought up this kind of uncertainty, because I do see that with people with IBS, you know, having kind of concerns and worries, and if you again also think about your gut all the time, those can make things worse. So the threshold should be pretty low to seek help. And you know, why not? What do you have to lose? What's the risk of seeing a pelvic floor specialist, right? So that's really nice you're encouraging us to seek help rather sooner than later. So what's your experience? Is it easy to find a pelvic floor specialist?
Yes, in Finland I think it is. We have many skilled professionals also in public and also in private sectors. And we have our own association where you can search for pelvic floor therapists. It's called Pelvicus. But also you can just search online professionals. And you can always just go to see physiotherapist. You don't need any referral from a doctor. Just book an appointment and you can go.
Yeah.
And don't feel shame about your pelvic floor. Just go and seek help and advice.
We are very lucky in Finland that you don't need a doctor's referral to see a physiotherapist. It's not very expensive to see one either. And we do have quite a few specialists and an easy way to find them even. Now we of course don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but Google can be your best friend to find one. And really the threshold is low. Go find someone to help you so that at least you know where you're at and what to do about it, if there's something that you need to do about it, right? All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add to our conversation today?
Maybe what we talked about, the shame. Don't feel ashamed because these issues we can have them, and there is lots you can do for those issues.
It's kind of like don't feel ashamed that you have to talk about pooping, for example, because we all do it. Everybody also has pelvic floor, and if it's not working completely the best way, or it's causing problems, it's better to just find out what's going on rather than wait. There's, yeah, like you said, no shame in that. And maybe love your pelvic floor. I don't know.
Yeah.
Based on our conversation today, it sounds like let's all give our pelvic floor a little bit of tender, loving care so that it can also help us be healthy in so many ways, not just for urinary incontinence or other incontinence, but also our posture and all those things. Well, great. Thank you for this discussion. I thought it was really helpful to hear a little bit more about the pelvic floor and how that affects our digestive system and how we can actually strengthen those muscles, and not forgetting that it's a great idea to go see an expert if you have any concerns around the pelvic floor muscles. All right. Thank you so much for being my guest today. And if you don't want to miss any of these expert discussions in the future, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one.